Gonna go for two here.
He's going for two.
If you don't make this, you lose. If you make it, you're in a position to win.
Got him! One-handed catch as he goes up and gets it.
That's just a heavy play.
Gonna go for two here. Go for two here.
Got him! One-handed catch as he goes up and gets it.
All right, welcome in. Going for two, presented by Joe Cools today. And I'll tell you, I stopped by there the other day to pick up our beer. That place looks like it is primed to reopen. The patio look nice, and I'm ready to get out there.
Smell that pizza from here.
Yeah, maybe by next October, we'll be allowed out there. But let's talk about something that's going to happen in October, and that is something that we kind of talked about a little bit, and we laughed it off the last time. But Tim Tebow is now a Jacksonville Jaguar.
What the hell?
And here's an interesting stat. Now, Trevor Lawrence was 12 years old the last time Tim Tebow was in the NFL. So how is this going to work? How does this work?
It's just part of the sideshow that is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
They did so well
That's
in the
the best
draft
way to
too,
put it.
right? They did so well in the draft, and now they fucked it up.
So
Like,
here's
I
my
understand
thought.
it's Urban Meyer.
Sorry. Go ahead, Chad.
It's Urban Meyer's guy, so I get that. But like the guy was a bum when he played in the NFL. He had one play in the NFL. Unfortunately, it was against your team, Shane.
Fuck off.
I said he had one play. I didn't say he was good. He is literally just a joke of an NFL player. He tried to play baseball. That didn't pan out for him. If his name wasn't Tim Tebow, he would never even got a tryout. ESPN picks him up. And now, like, the people love him down in Florida. Like, Jacksonville's his home. It's just another stunt to sell tickets for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it's an embarrassment. You got a generational talent at quarterback, and now all of a sudden everybody's talking about this fucking sideshow that you guys have just started up there by bringing a joke football player like Tim Tebow.
I'll tell you the bet that I went to look for, because it's not on CoolBet yet, because obviously we would be hammering this thing right now, but it's plus 1,000 in the U.S. right now that Tebow catches a pass from Trevor Lawrence this season. Plus 1,000.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I don't even understand how they would come up with something like that, but, like, Chad, can you think of a way that they would use a tight end and not throw the ball to him? Or is he not making the team?
There's no way he makes the team. This is strictly just for the fans. Get him hyped up. You can't tell me he's better than any tight end that's on that roster. He's not Taysom Hill. And if that's what they're trying to do, then that's a slap in the face of Taysom Hill. I don't even like Taysom Hill. That's a slap in the face of Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
The guy hasn't played football in 5 years. And now you're going to just go join another NFL team? Like, stop disrespecting the game. Get over it. You didn't make it. Move on with your life, you loser.
Yeah. I think he's been out of football longer than 5 years.
Yeah, I don't know. He's like 31 now or something like that, right?
The thing, like I said, the thing that I read was that Tebow hasn't been in the NFL since Trevor Lawrence was 12. So how old is Trevor Lawrence?
20, right?
21, I believe.
So
Yeah.
9 years ago.
I don't know. I saw something today. It just said that at least he had a killer mentor at Florida at the tight end position.
Oh, my God. That's terrible.
I'm not sure
So
it would
my
be
thought-
a show if we didn't mention Aaron Hernandez. So.
My thought here is that maybe he does make the team as like the fourth string tight end, but I think he was brought in totally as being like the priest of the team. He's going to be the guy giving the before game and after game prayers. That's the only reason he was actually brought in. Totally
Yeah.
just a
Have you
culture
been
thing.
to Jacksonville, Caleb?
Yeah.
There's no priest in Jacksonville.
Tebow take the wheel.
That's right.
Well, I think it's pretty remarkable how a team could do so well in the draft and not realize how stupid of a signing that looks like. And any other coach other than Urban Meyer, we'd be like, okay, like, how does this even happen? But you never know, man. Like, maybe this guy went and put on 40 pounds and thinks that he can be an inline blocker. I mean, I don't see it, but could he be a fullback? Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. What was that guy from Washington way back in the day? Was it Smoot? No, not Smoot. The H back. What was his name?
Cooley.
Cooley,
Cooley, yeah, Chris
Yeah,
Cooley.
yeah.
He could be a mix of a Chris Cooley potentially. I'm reaching here,
Yeah.
guys. I'm really reaching
Yeah.
for him.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
if he had a fraction of the talent that Chris Cooley did.
Yeah,
Right.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? If Tebow was just a grown up back in whenever the last time he played in the NFL was, I don't know, and actually took the advice of the coaches that were telling him to switch to tight end and not been such a hardhead, maybe I could see him having a chance right now. And you sign him on the back end of his career to kind of be a part of this team. But yeah, I mean, as one of the Jacksonville Jaguars players, or if you're an undrafted free agent tight end, I'm calling my agent and being like, yeah, get me the fuck out of here because this is a joke. Like, they just brought in a circus for me to compete with. So
Can't wait to
either
see
way,
him go
like,
over the middle the first time.
yeah, this dude's either going to get cut for Tim Tebow or he's going to play over Tim Tebow and he's going to, like, the fans are going to hate his guts. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. I think it's kind of stupid. Something else was kind of going down today, and I don't really understand this signing either. I mean, it makes way more sense what we were just talking about, but Eric Fisher going to the Colts. Now, I guess Costanzo's retired, if I was following it correctly. But this guy isn't even ready to play until probably November.
Yeah.
So what a
PUP him.
yeah, but they're paying him.
He's a Pro Bowl player.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still PUP him, right? Then, as long as he's in shape for the playoffs, that's all they care about. They're going to make the playoffs.
Well, they're probably going to win the division.
I was going to be
Fucking
nice to
rich.
Caitlin for once.
The rich get richer down there for sure in Indianapolis. That offensive line, especially the left side, was pretty strong for the last couple of years. And if he comes back to even be, 80% of what he was providing down in Kansas City before, I mean, that's going to be a hell of a left side there for Indianapolis. So I'm scared about it, and especially if the guy gets a little bit of rest and gets to come in November football. My God, it's going to be pretty nerve-wracking.
I think he was a first overall pick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure
He's
if
been a
he.
staple at that position as an All-Pro and Pro Bowler every year. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he lived up to like being a first overall tackle, but I mean, how can you really? I don't know.
it's not a sexy pick at number one, right?
Yeah, but
And like if he played his whole career with Patrick Mahomes, I bet you it's a different conversation.
right. Well, yeah, I guess
You're not going to get a lot of left tackle if you're playing with a mediocre quarterback.
Whoa, you just went after Alex Smith. Give his leg a break.
Yeah. I think he already did.
Jesus. Well, I mean, with Nelson on that side, he pretty much boosted the play of a guy like Costanzo. So, if you were picking, you would probably take Fisher over Costanzo in their prime, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Costanzo didn't get a lot of love just because of what was happening in Indianapolis, but you're right. Fisher's just a step above him, absolutely. If he comes back to what he did, right? And Achilles is pretty big for a tackle.
The other left tackle that was signed, I guess he was signed on Sunday, was Villanueva went to the Ravens, which I couldn't be more happy about that. I really couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
That guy is an absolute turnstile at left tackle, and I'm pretty sure that TJ Watt's sack total just went up by 3. just the signing, like the over/under just went up by 3.
Sounds like he's pretty dead to you.
Well, he stunk last year, and then he went to the Ravens and started chirping at Juju. Like, I don't know, man. Give me a break. Get over yourself. You were horrible last year. The Steelers gave you a chance.
We'll see what happens there. PFF, they love the signing. They thought it was great and compared him to Orlando Brown.
PFF also said that you're stupid to take a running back in the first round.
Yeah.
Those guys are just, yeah, I mean, didn't they say that the Titans were going 15-1 last year?
But that was just Caleb.
I knew I heard it somewhere. I just couldn't remember.
They're both just as reliable sources.
Yeah. So I read this article and I started laughing because it was like a thing that popped up on my phone. It said, the Broncos are currently monitoring the Aaron Rodgers situation. That was the headline. Like, are you fucking kidding? Yeah, of course they are. Who isn't? I'm monitoring the Aaron Rodgers situation. Why wouldn't they be? Not only are they in the quarterback market, but they're in the NFL. This is the biggest news in the NFL right now. How does somebody have a job that puts that out as breaking news?
Do you think that the comment the GM made today about Jordan Love and needing more time and was far back in his development, do you think that was trying to save face and trying to say, like, Aaron, we still really, really do need you? Or do you think that Jordan Love is like far back in development and does need a couple more years?
I don't think he was ever forward in his development. I'm sure that NFL scouts would see something different. And like Chad's a quarterback coach, he might see something different than I do. But I never saw him as top talent.
No, and I think that's the whole issue, right? Like they can go back. If I was the GM, the last thing I would be doing is going back against my first round pick last year.
Right.
Like that's your dude. Like you have like first off, what confidence does that show in you? Like how does that build Jordan Love's confidence? I understand you want to try to save face with Aaron Rodgers, but that is like the worst way you could do it. Because if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back, you just lost your whole fan base. Because you just came out and said the guy that you drafted to replace probably 1A or 1B, the best quarterback that's ever been in Green Bay, with a guy that you took that's now not ready, that now you said, oh, well, he's not where you need him to be. That was your pick. That's the last thing you should be doing as a GM, and now that quarterback has no confidence. And now he's already lost the locker room now, if it even ever had it. It was a horrible play by the GM, and I don't know a lot about Jordan Love. I'm not going to sit here and say that I do. I really don't watch a lot of backup quarterbacks. They're not great for TV.
The dude, he didn't even hold the
like he
clipboard.
played in Nevada once again. Not really a hot spot. Yeah, so there you go. He didn't even dress. So how are you going to tell me that this guy's going to take the lead? The GM fucked up on that one.
Yeah. And
speaking
Nick
of
Foles
GMs fucking up with taking quarterbacks, I see that Blaine Gabbert got re-signed. Ridiculous, I tell you. Even
says one person. Yeah, what? Yeah, of course. Trask is going to be Jordan Love. He's going to hold a clipboard. We took him in the right place. Big difference.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm going to even say that Trask is going to be more compared to like a Jake Fromm guy. I mean, until they actually get a chance to play, they're nobody. I mean, a guy like Kyle Trask, who, don't get me wrong, I would have been very happy if the Steelers took him in the later rounds. The second that he lost his weapons at Florida, he was embarrassing. Like that wasn't a count. Like give all those weapons at Florida to our man Will Arndt down there in BC.
Yeah.
Watch if he isn't one of the top picks in the NFL draft. You know? But
yeah, no, I was okay with the Trask pick. I think they got him way too early. But yeah, like the Blaine Gabbert, like, they had to re-sign. There's no one else to sign.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that bad. You're mad about one throw that happened in Tennessee. I think you need to move on.
He's got like a 50 and 47 touchdown to interceptions. He's got like a 53 or 54% completion percentage.
Backup.
He's
no one wants, like Tom Brady doesn't get hurt, man. Tom Brady doesn't
barely
get hurt.
a backup. Terrible.
Yo,
There's significantly worse backups in the NFL.
This guy needs to make sure that he doesn't use Tom Brady's face moisturizer in the showers, and that's it. That's his only job in Tampa. That shit's expensive, I bet. But
he's a good set of eyes. He's a good set of eyes for Tom Brady, and that's what he's there for. Tom Brady likes him, and that's why he's there.
Yeah, he's Tom Brady's boy. So now let's go to something that's a hot button subject. Hasn't really been for us because none of us really give a shit. But this whole number change thing. So I saw one player, Dalvin Cook. He said, "Yeah, Minnesota, I want to change my number." And Minnesota said, yeah, it'll be $1.2 million. And surprisingly, he has decided to keep his number from what I've heard. So now on the flip side, Caleb, we were kind of going through a couple before we jumped on here. So you said like the entire Arizona Cardinals are changing their offensive, right?
Well, no, just like there's some Cardinals that are taking advantage of the new opportunity, either change your number or take the single digit numbers, right? James Conner is grabbing the 6. We've got Byron Murphy, who is switching a number. He's going to number 7. Yeah, and then you've got J.C. Horn. He came out and said he's going to wear number 8 in honor of Kobe Bryant. So that's kind of cool to just see these numbers actually. And did Patrick Peterson say he's going to rock number 7? Was that another player that I had seen? Yeah.
Yeah, but
so I mean,
it doesn't cost him any money because
he's
he's a free agent.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure. There's definitely not every player's taking it for the money. Byron Murphy probably hasn't a whole lot of jerseys that have been made in his name so far. He's a first round pick last year, but yeah, it's neat to see that players are actually taking advantage of it, and I think we're going to see a new flow of that in the next couple of years with new kids coming in and wanting to keep their number. Right.
So who's going to be the next Delante West in the NFL? Well, let's see. I got my rookie contract. I'm going to give you $1 million. Can I have my new number, please? Like, give me a fucking break. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. If I was a free agent going in, I get it. Or if I was super committed to a number, like, I don't know, give me like Derrick Henry at Alabama. Let's say that he was super committed to the number 2. Okay, fine. But
see,
Byron
a guy
Murphy,
like Derrick Henry can change his number.
Yeah.
James Conner, shut up. You're a bum.
yeah.
Like Derrick Henry says, I'm going to wear number 2. Everybody in that organization's like, yeah, that's a bad dude. We're going to give him number 2.
Right.
James Conner goes to Arizona. Is that where he went? I'm going to wear number 6. Shut the fuck up. You'll get what we give you.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll be lucky to get not get a triple digit number.
Dude, just be happy to have a jersey. You're going to be scraping for carries.
Yeah, he's 6 a
Like
game.
I told you, there's certain guys that can do that. He's not one of them.
No.
Like D-Hop, yeah, give that guy one number all day long. That guy can do whatever he feels like.
Like the thing that's stupid about James Conner too is I'm 90% sure that he wore 30 at Pitt when he went to Pitt. Like, you're not even going back to your college number. Like, where did 6 come from? But does he?
It's got to be a bust.
Does he think he's Jerome? Does he think he's Jerome Bettis at Notre Dame, chap? Is he coming at Notre Dame? Did James Conner just call it the entire Notre Dame University sports organization?
I got a 6 jersey in my closet right now.
Smart enough. I can guarantee he's not smart enough to go to Notre Dame.
Yo, he got University of Pitt education.
Yeah, and I went to Fanshawe College.
The jerseys do look like second tier Notre Dame, don't they? Like the non-brushed gold and the off blue, kind of looking like the navy. It does look second tier Notre Dame.
Just losers.
Yeah, and what wasn't it? Is it Buda Baker that's changing his number 2?
Yeah, is he on number 3? I think is what he said he's gonna be rocking as well.
I don't know. I bet you that one's gonna be expensive though, because that dude probably had a lot of jerseys printed.
Well, he's been a couple dollars last year.
Yeah, but like I bet you there's a lot of his jerseys. Like, do you think that there's probably more Dalvin Cook jerseys than Buda Baker jerseys? I guess, right?
Yeah,
that's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
So as a fan, are you allowed to trade your jersey in?
Yeah, that's been a thing for a while. If a player changes teams or changes their number, you're allowed to do some sort of trade-in thing with the NFL.com.
But it's only within a year, right?
Yeah, and actually, maybe it's on NFL.com. I think you actually have to do it at the player shop, like at the stadium, maybe. So it might even be with the actual website.
So we're basically screwed if anybody on our teams change because we can't even get across the border right now.
Yeah.
So if Ben Roethlisberger decides to change his number to 8, I gotta rip this fucking thing off my wall.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't think that's
not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Just if anybody, is there anybody on your team you think that's in danger of changing their number?
The only person that I could see, and like I just don't think that his wife would let him do it, is Joe Hayden. Like that guy wore a single digit at Florida, and he kind of fits into that. But he's also a team leader. I honestly don't think that a single Steelers player is going to change his number. I mean, watch like tomorrow it's going to break. Like Juju Smith-Schuster is going to wear like 0 or something stupid. But
X.
Yeah. I don't see it.
Yeah, I think the only person who mentioned it so far was Derrick Henry. AJ Brown tweeted about it the day that it came out, but then he realized that the number 1 is retired in Tennessee, so he realized he's not getting that number.
Who's number 1?
Warren Moon.
I guess pretty good at football.
Yeah, he's been around.
Yeah,
I
Run
honestly
and
just don't
shoot.
think of him at Tennessee. That's what threw me off there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a sensitive topic down in Houston.
Do you think Ryan Tannehill should switch to 9?
Why?
Because he's
I'm
probably
not
the best
sure.
quarterback that's ever been there.
Oh, for sure. But Tannehill
Such
doesn't like to
an
run that
animal.
much of a shotgun offense.
Ridiculous.
Moving
It was
on.
such a tragedy the way that he left. Such a tragedy the way he left the team too.
Ryan
Salary
Tannehill, he
cap
hasn't
cut
he hasn't been cut yet.
talking about Air McNair. You
Oh.
jerk.
Yeah, well, he went to Baltimore and stunk there instead.
Yeah.
Like Tennessee has never been good, and we'll get into that a little bit further into the season.
Oh
'Cause
God.
I don't want to. I mean, like I don't want to beat on the dead. It's already May 10th right now. Are we allowed to say the date? We don't. We usually don't say the date because we don't post it. I guess this will come out the morning before the schedule is released. But yeah, Tennessee. Like, how many wins are they gonna have next year, Kalen? 17.
It's going 15-1, baby. 15
Well,
sorry,
what about the other
15-2.
game?
Are they
15-2.
gonna sit out the game?
Yeah.
Well, who's
Never know what will happen.
The best way I can describe Tennessee, Caitlin, this isn't actually taking a shot at your team. I actually mean this time. When
Jesus.
Tampa wouldn't get rid of Jameis Winston, I was in this moral debate if I had to find a new football team. And the two teams that kept popping up in my mind were Tennessee and Houston. For the simple fact, I can't jump on a team that's winning all the time. I'm like a bandwagon fan. And like I don't just want to cheer for a loser. And they were just like two teams that stuck out to me, like always just mediocre. And that's like I get that shit. We had a long talk about this one at a doghouse.
It's true.
I was actually had like a legit conversation, but I think I had to change teams because I thought Tampa's going to re-sign Jameis, and I wasn't okay with it. And the two teams that kept popping up were Houston and Tennessee. So I'm like, like at least I go 500 every year. It won't be that sad for me.
9-7.
Jeez. Well, now it's going to be 9-8, but they will do their best, I'm sure. What do you guys want to talk about next? I got a little bit of hockey and a little bit of baseball.
Let's go hockey.
Feeling? Hockey. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
What's not on the list though? I want to bring up. I'm gonna interject here because it's not. I don't think it's on the list. You didn't mention it on the pregame here. Connor McDavid getting to 100.
Oh yeah. That happened when I was sleeping. I kind of.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I boycotted that game because for some reason, okay. Well, now that we're into it, let's talk about it. Here.
Let's do it.
The Canadians and Leafs were at 5 goals at the end of the second period. Now, all they needed to do, one of them just had to pot another goal, and our Super Boost was alive and well, and it was ready. And none of those fucking assholes could score. And Montreal took a penalty with like 14 seconds left, basically to eliminate the empty net goal that would have pushed us over. So by the time it got to the Edmonton game, I just didn't. I would rather watch boxing, and I actually fell asleep during boxing too. So I'm not going to pretend like there wasn't any scotch drank that night because I had a couple. I'm not going to pretend. There was a couple scotches that went down, like big, like I'm talking like 4 fingers worth. But hey,
you Aaron Rodgers that, eh?
Yeah.
Just 4 fingers.
Yeah.
After a big loss.
Yeah, it was tough. But
Oof.
I can guarantee you that next Saturday we'll be back at it again. But anyway, Caleb, what were you saying? Yeah, McDavid got his 100th.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was 3 or 4. I know it was 3 goal points for sure, but I don't know if it was 4. But ridiculous! Like how talented is that? And it was like right away. I think he had a point within 17 seconds or something like that into the game. And he still got 2 games left to play. I don't know at this point if they're gonna, let him play or anything. At this point, just let him rest it out now. But
Well,
like that's what kind of. Sorry.
No, it's a good segue into what I wanted to ask you about, because for a lot of teams that didn't have 1-9 problems, their season ended on Saturday. Now, if your team had a 1-9 problem, or you played in a division with a team that had a 1-9 problem, then you're basically stretched out in some points all the way till like next Wednesday, which is wild. Now that only affects Calgary and Vancouver. But so I'm a first place team, and I finished playing on Wednesday. I had a great year. The playoffs were supposed to start on Tuesday. Now the playoffs have been pushed until Saturday at the earliest, and at that point, it would be all the other teams would be finished. The two teams that still be playing in the North aren't playoff teams anyway, so they'd just be irrelevant games that are put on TV for money. But would you be pissed if you were one of the teams that is now having to sit out for the next week? Or what you were just mentioning with McDavid, do you like the extra week?
I mean, I think the way that it works, like if it was the one way and you said that there was more like congested, I think that we would say, oh, or the players would probably say, I wish we had some extra time to actually heal up and rest after a crazy season. And then now they're getting the extra rest. I think like you're right. There's gonna be some people that complain and say, well, I'm gonna lose the whatever momentum I had coming into the playoffs, which I think is kind of and every sport almost kind of has a bit of a bye here before the playoffs if you're a top tier team. So, I mean, just look at it like that way. You're just a top tier team. You're getting a bye.
But in hockey, it's usually only a couple of days. Like now we're looking at potentially a week plus.
Well, I guess they get to deal with the same things that Vancouver unfortunately had to deal with and was forced to play with during the season when they were trying to make up time, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Chad, what do you think?
I don't know. Like it's good to get your legs back. It's good to get your legs back, and I understand that aspect of it. But you can't have these guys not going for almost 2 weeks, not going into the playoffs. Like every single game matters, and also if you play a team who hasn't been rested, like they don't run out for 4 days. You haven't played in a week. It's mostly like kind of. I know when we talked to JD, he said it's not the same for goalies and stuff, but like I do believe in that rust. And if a goalie hasn't had a game shot in 2 weeks, what's going to be like when he gets in there? And that's kind of what I'm thinking about that way is like playing your own defensive end. Everybody can score, but playing your own defensive end, I think that's something like you got to be out there playing all the time. So I think that's too long, but I know they have to do what they got to do.
Yeah. My big concern with the whole thing is not the players, not necessarily the coaches, but let's say I'm the equipment manager and I've just gone through a pretty long season and they just told me that they don't need me for the next week. Well, I go out and see a couple people I wasn't supposed to. And then I bring that 1-9 into the locker room and I just crippled the entire playoff because these guys, they're free balling right now, right? Like they have nothing that's keeping them in. So how would the NHL handle something like that? I mean, they're essentially telling these teams that they have to wait because all these other teams got hit with the 1-9. Now, if they got hit with the 1-9, does that disqualify from the playoffs, or are they going to wait until they're ready to play again?
Well, like to my understanding, Robin Lehner, the goalie for Vegas, it was also for Chicago. I think it wasn't for the Islanders. He came out recently and had some pretty, some rough things to say about the NHL and the way they were handling things. From what he explained, Shane, they are more on lockdown than what we consider lockdown here right now, what we're living through. That's guys impossible. Are literally allowed.
That is not possible.
According to him, they are literally allowed to go to their house and to the arena. They can go to their hotel room and only their hotel room. They can't even they're no sharing a hotel room with somebody else. So he had like a lot of things because
I guess some guests in there sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it happens,
the adult ballet is still working, just so you know.
But if it's anyone remotely close to what they're saying, I don't think if that's the way they're treating the players, I'm hoping they're treating the coaches and the equipment managers the same way. But if you've also got to be understandable that your job is pretty high end, right? Like if you are out messing around and seeing people you shouldn't be, there goes your job. There goes your career for the rest. That ain't coming back.
But you got to prove it.
For the money they make, I don't feel bad for them at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it comes down to, so if you're a hot team coming down the stretch, like Nashville, for example, they played themselves into this position and they beat out, they beat out Dallas for this spot and they were hot down the stretch. They started to score again because I heard that scoring goals in hockey is pretty important. But now they have to sit there and wait. and they have to wait again. And I'm concerned about the level that they're going to be at when it's time to come back. You remember when Edmonton was Edmonton? No, maybe it was the Canadians. They had their 1 week like COVID pause because they were supposed to be playing Vancouver. Everybody was so concerned on the level of rust that was going to, or no, it was Edmonton, the level of rust that was going to be back onto these guys. But like now we're talking about high level hockey. Intensity is one thing, but muscle memory is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
well, who's going to hurt the most is the goalies. That's who I think, like Chad has said.
Right. Well, now there was big news from the goalie world. Ryan Miller decided to hang it up and played his last game as a Duck.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he's going to play the World Champions for the U.S. Do you know that? Was that talked about at all?
As far as I understand, that was it. That's his last
game?
professional game being played in general. That's it. Yeah. The way that he was hugging his parents after and having that emotional moment with them, to me, it looks like that's it for him. There's no more hockey. So
It sucks for him that this is the year he had to go out.
Yeah, they stunk.
Because like they got stuck in an 8. Well, they stunk first off. Like they only played 8 teams.
Yeah.
Like he plays a lot of friends throughout the league playing as long as he did. Playing on the international level, like the level that he played at too. And now he can't even go see those people. He was in Buffalo for a long time.
Yeah.
Never got to go back to Buffalo. When they were good, he was the goaltender there. It was a nice moment I saw between him and Jonathan Quick because they were the 2 U.S. goaltenders the last 8 years together.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's a rough way for him to go out this year, like only playing like that. But man, that guy's a good goaltender. On that,
I think he's like 4 wins away from 1,000. Is that what he is? Do you guys know?
He's 4 away from 1,000.
Is it 4? I think it's 4 from the next 100. I know that much. Is it like 800, 900? I can't remember what it is.
it's not 1,000.
But
He's at 3. He's at 370. He's at 370 something.
Oh, I thought it was 96.
I looked it up before we came on.
1,000 wins would be pretty wild, though.
Yeah,
that
would be wild. Speaking of near 1,000, did you see Phil Kessel's?
396.
You see Phil Kessel's picture with his puck in the 900 points or whatever?
No.
Let's talk. So I take it back. Mac Jones, you are not a bag of milk. Phil Kessel
Yeah,
is.
right? Did you see that? I love how Paul Bissonnette, what he retweets when he put the picture up was nipples hard as a rock for the 900th point. It's crazy that guy has that type of physique. Now, mind you, he's definitely gotten bigger in the last 4 or 5 years, but it's crazy that he has that physique and he plays at that level, right? And I would still say that hockey is probably the most athletic and agile sport there is. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but as far as fast twitch and having to be super quick and everything, I think hockey's got it all. So to be able to play the sport at the level that he does and look like that is astounding. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm going to say that there's a couple football players that might disagree with you, but we'll send them to your house and see what they think.
Couple gymnasts.
Yeah.
I feel that it would probably be gymnasts. I mean, that's you got me there. But as far as football, I think that it's a little bit easier to keep your balance and keep your play above you when you got your feet on the ground versus having blades on ice. That's the only thing that I'm giving the hockey players there. Yeah, it's not your natural footing.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a big toll on the body. All right, well, you guys know all the teams are in the playoffs, so you know who you want to win the cup? Because I'm going to put you on the spot and make you pick a cup winner.
Yeah.
Call your Stanley Cup final. Just say who you think's going to be in the final.
I don't even know how it works. Who plays who? Like what conferences play? How does that work?
So you play inside of your own conference.
Yep.
And then, so for the first 2 rounds, you're inside of your own division. And then you, depending on what seeds are left is who you would play after that. You get reseeded after that.
So
okay. I should pull up who's winning next time. No fucking clue.
That's fair.
This is where I'm torn in the West here because I think that Vegas and Edmonton. Well, Vegas I think is the obvious. I think out of the Western type of teams, but then I think Edmonton can be a dark horse if they can figure out their goaltending. But
Mike Smith has
Here
been
goes
good.
some- Yeah, he's been. Well, I just don't. I guess in the playoffs he's been okay. Well, I'm gonna go with Vegas and the obvious in the East over. I'm gonna go Toronto. Hopefully, I don't regret saying that.
You will.
Going Tampa Bay. They got Stamkos and the other dude back I saw this week. So I think that's a team to watch out for. And I think the Avalanche.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good pick, Chad. Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally even
I'm
forgot
a
about
hockey. Yeah, I'm a hockey insider.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You
Well,
heard it here first.
I would love to say that it'd be Toronto making themselves to the cup, but I'm going to take the automatic homer pick and say the Penguins. I'm sure you guys are surprised that one was coming down the pipe.
They
And
are a dark horse, man. They are a dark horse.
I'm going to say that the Penguins beat the Minnesota Wild
Holy shit.
in the Stanley Cup.
Tell me that at the beginning of this year. I don't think anybody could have called that one.
They're a team they're a team that you don't want to play. Either one of them really,
Yeah.
but Minnesota can score a couple of goals and just frustrate you. So I think that one's maybe one I'm going to look at when I go and open my little cool bet account there and see if I can put a couple of dollary dues over on the Minnesota Wild to at least be in the finals, because I think that's going to be some decent odds there.
Wow.
So of your games, you got Chad. Did you take Tampa Bay to win?
I took Tampa to beat Colorado.
And Kalen, you got Vegas or you got Toronto?
I'm going Vegas over Toronto.
Okay. Well, we'll see. At least we all pick separate ones. Okay. Moving to the next sport. Now, we were talking Toronto, so let's talk a little bit of Blue Jays. So, I don't know how many Blue Jays games you guys have watched this year. I feel like I've watched more this year than last year. Last year, I wasn't really that into it until we got a little bit closer to the end. But one thing I can say for sure is these guys can hit when it comes time to get on base. And when they need clutch play, they actually have it. Now, my question to you would be, what do they need to regain the form they had in 15 and 16?
More wins. Nailed it.
Yeah.
The secret of getting better at baseball, win more baseball games.
Well, hey, that'll wrap up the show for this week then. And
Is it fair to say to just finish a game? Is that really like, because I haven't watched a lot of their games, but
Okay.
what I'm seeing and like looking at their numbers, right? Like they got 30 more runs than they do have runs scored against them. So they're playing good baseball, and they're playing like they don't even have a lot of runs scored against them. So they're playing good defensive baseball too. But what the hell is going on with what they're losing games? It seems to me that to me would probably they're not finishing games through. They're blowing games at the last second.
yeah, I mean, for the most part, like they're absolutely scoring a lot of runs, but they're giving up stupid runs that they shouldn't be. And a lot of the time that they are losing, it's because they're falling behind early and they're playing catch up. Now, naturally, in any kind of a sport, but in baseball, if you fall behind too far, the clock is just ticking on you. And the worst thing about it is there is no clock in baseball. So you don't know how long it's going to take for that slow bleeding cut to finish you off. So the other, I mean, Sunday against the Astros, for example, they fell down 7-0. And then
that was that kid, right? The pitcher, was it Peterson? Is that him?
Yeah.
Is it him
So top prospect. I mean, he's supposed to be the guy eventually, but comes in. They fall down by 7, and they have a couple rally innings, and they work their way back into it. And I believe the final score was either 7-4, 7-5, but they could, if they weren't pressing, they could have been in a much better position. Now, I think that the team overall can hit. The left side of their infield is absolutely atrocious, and they have a first baseman who, if he had good people on the left side of the infield, wouldn't look so bad. But he's out of place. He's only played this position for not even a full MLB season. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he's lost a bunch of weight. He's still trying to figure out his body. So, what do the Blue Jays need? They need a quality third baseman. They need somebody to teach Bo Bichette how to play shortstop. And they need their catchers to hit. And they'll be fine.
And pitching depth,
their
right?
Bullpen,
Pitching,
their bullpen's actually
is
pretty good. No,
Is
their
it?
bullpen's actually good, yeah. And like the worst start they've had all year was the Nate Peterson start on on Sunday. So
Mhm.
overall, I think that they're going to be okay. Steven Matz was a surprising trade that they made that's working out really well for them. Ryu, got no problem with that guy. Robbie Ray's going to be good. They already cut Tanner Rourke, who was the absolute dumpster fire of the team. So, I don't know. Chad, have you been watching any of the Jays yet?
I've seen a couple innings here and there. I don't watch baseball until near mid to end summer.
Yeah.
There's 162 games. I only care about the last 55, 60.
Yeah, well, that's kind
I'm
of
the first to admit it. I don't lie about it.
yeah. That's what I said to Kayla when we came on before we came on was the guarantees in baseball is you're going to lose 50 and you're going to win 50. It's just what happens in the 62 games in between that really matters. Because it's a long fucking season.
I do have one thing to ask you guys before we get out of this place because I know we talked about it before. We actually didn't touch on it. DK Metcalf running that 100 meters.
Mhm.
Are you impressed, or do you think he had no right being there?
Oh, I mean, he
you're
definitely had a
pulling the
right to
Michael
be
Johnson
there.
card, are you? The Michael
No.
Johnson card. I get it.
No, he definitely had a
No,
right to be there. I mean, the guy finished 15th in all of U.S.
Mhm.
Did he qualify though? I'm just asking questions. I don't know. I think it's absolutely remarkable the speed he ran at. Well, the video I saw, he just ran out of gas. He's not built to go 100 meters.
Yeah.
If that was a 40 or I think it was 60 in indoor, I think he finishes in the top 6. But he just ran out of gas at the end of the last 30 meters. His body's nope, we're not doing this no more.
Well, he's roughly 5 inches taller than everybody else there, and he weighs about 70 more pounds than everybody out there.
Yes.
So for the simple fact that I mean, he finished 9th in his heat, which was last, but
he finished 9th out of 16 overall.
No, he finished 9th in his heat, and then he finished 15th out of something overall.
Oh, okay.
So
Sorry,
something
okay.
something like that. But even by him finishing 9th, it was by so little. And I mean, 10 seconds. Sometimes it takes me 10 seconds to get out of my chair.
Mhm.
This guy ran a fucking 100 meters. Give me a break.
Yeah, how tall is Sean again? Big fudge?
6'6".
6'6". So I'm just trying to put in this perspective who I know that's 6'3" that can even remotely do anything in 10 seconds. You know what I mean?
Well, you can't compare Fudge to DK Metcalf.
No. I'm just trying to compare height just to think of other friends I know that do stuff, Anybody that's 6'3" that can do anything in 10 seconons. I just don't know very
DK was
many guys that
created in
do
a
it.
lab.
Yeah, that is 2 different types of physical specimen.
It's the reason we call him Big Fudge, right?
Yeah, he hates it too. But yeah, I mean, somebody that's 6'3", probably New York Rob is 6'3", and
not a
Yeah.
chance. That's insane. I
Yeah.
would love to see that in person. That's just incredible, man.
yeah,
Oh,
I think that guy should be in the Olympics just because more people would watch it.
and you see
I
that
don't-
the cheetah, the Tyreek, he
Yeah.
commented on it and said, because everybody said, "Oh, you could have won that. You could have won that." And he's like, "Guys, I'm in my off-season weight. I'm at 198 or 189 or something like that, and I'm fat." Couldn't imagine that little guy being even close to 200 pounds. Holy shit, right?
Well, it's really understand too. These guys, DK didn't train for the 100 meters. He's not a track guy. So obviously he qualified, so it's good for him. But imagine if he actually took the time and actually trained for that. Could he have got down to a 10-1? That's the part you have to think about, right? He's 6'3", 235, probably close to 240. And in the first 50 meters, he was in that race.
Yeah.
So if that guy shedded 20 pounds and trained to be sprinter, that's a scary fucking dude.
Well,
And I think that's what people are not they're not taking away from this.
what I want to know is if Buda Baker was running in front of him, do you think he would have won? Like, do you think he needs a rabbit? Like he needs somebody?
Yeah, like he's gonna have the football in front of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure if you gave Buda a little bit of a head start, then DK would have tackled him at the finish line, and it would have been wild. That's just good TV.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait. Do you
Well,
know there's going to be somebody
I
that
remember
does do that
Marquise
side by
Wilson.
side comparison?
Yeah.
Well, Marquise Gooden, that's his name, yeah.
Yeah.
He was training for the
Marquise
Olympics,
Goodwin.
and he was only running a 10-3-1 or something.
Yeah.
And that guy's a fraction of the size of DK.
Yeah. He's like
So, like,
a
people need to get
child.
off him right now.
Yeah. Are people going after him? I didn't even know people were going after him for this.
Some
Michael
people were
Johnson
saying it was a
went at him.
disgrace to track.
Michael,
Yeah.
didn't that guy pretend to tear his hamstring so that he didn't look like an asshole in front of Donovan Bailey?
I think he's also the
He
same
still
guy that
looked like
raced
an
a
asshole.
horse and a race and a NASCAR in the mud too. Was that not the same guy?
I don't know.
No, that was Ocho
Was
Cinco.
that Ben Johnson? That might have been Ben Johnson. I don't know. It was Mike
Hey,
Johnson or Ben.
he's a Canadian hero
Ben Johnson's the cheetah.
twice.
Hey man.
Yeah, there's
it's
some people
been-
went at him just saying that it was a spectacle, but at the same time, there was a lot of these people that were in that sport that were saying that this is what their sport needs. They need somebody with a name like DK Metcalf to bring the limelight there. There was people in other, because there was a whole track meet going on that were complaining that they weren't getting media coverage because all of the media were clout chasing DK. So that some girl had set some record or some guy set some triple jump record,
Oh
and
my
he
God.
big complaint about, oh, they didn't catch my record because they were clout chasing DK. Well, sorry, man. You know, the media got there for a reason. You guys are going to get some limelight at some time when the guy's not running. At
Well-
that point, you just happen to be you were doing your jump.
Tell him he can come on our show if he wants to feel
Yeah.
better about himself.
Here's the
We'll
thing.
bring him on.
There would be nobody there even watching this if it wasn't for the sake that DK Metcalf was in the race. So
Yeah.
it's not that you lost the coverage, it's that the coverage wouldn't have existed. It was just there for one guy. Nobody cares about the US Olympic qualifiers unless there's an NFL player in it, and especially like a specimen like that.
That's right.
Yeah. Whatever. We gotta move on because we're gonna get heated and we're gonna say something we're not supposed to. So
Not us.
the last thing. So the last time we were on, we kind of talked about the play-in tournament for the NBA. You know how I feel about it. It kind of ruins the season. I've already made that clear. Whatever. But then I went and looked at the standings, and I was like, so you're telling me that in a one-game elimination, we're going to see the Lakers and Golden State? Okay, well, that's probably something as a non-NBA fan, I could probably subscribe to that. And then you got Memphis and San Antonio. I was like, okay, well, I really like John Morant, so that's going to be one that I watch for sure. And then to see the Celtics be able to lose back-to-back games in the East, that's going to be fantastic. I'm like, Kalen, are you looking forward to that too?
I'm looking forward to everything you said there, minus the last part. They're going to have a tough road with Jaylen Brown being out. But I told you guys, this play-in tournament is awesome. I like it. Like I said, when it came
stupid,
out.
but I'm going to watch it anyway. It's like,
Oh, come on.
it's like
giving us an
Thriller
opportunity
Fight
to-
Club. It's the Thriller Fight
Yeah.
Club. Yeah,
That's exactly that's a great comparison.
It's
And
stupid.
that's what I
It's
love about it.
stupid, but
Fuck
I'm going to
that
watch
shit.
it anyway.
Fuck Thriller.
Yeah. Maybe there'll be a
Yeah,
couple
cool.
concerts at halftime.
Maybe LeBron will take a dive.
And then who the Celtics going to be playing against Charlotte. That's a good matchup. I mean, this is making for some good TV leading into the playoffs, and that's what the NBA needs. And
Miles Bridges is going to dunk on somebody in Boston. It's going to
Charlotte has quite quickly turned into Dunk City, USA. I don't know if
why?
you've seen that or not, but my God,
Miles Bridges is the man.
he's pretty good.
He's the man. You missed what I said.
What'd you
Yeah.
say?
I said he's the man. I said,
No.
yeah. I'm actually looking forward to that tournament. One, because I like to watch cool sports like that. But think of the betting aspect. You can sit down and actually bet on the NBA and not worry about somebody resting for rest time and rest minutes or whatever. Because if they lose, they're out.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of looking forward to that. And definitely looking forward to playing a little bit of that on the cool bet. Now that's for the long weekend, right? That's on the Labor Day or the Victoria weekend.
Yeah, not
May
this week,
2-4.
following weekend.
Well, that should be nice enough for me to set up my TV outside, have a couple pops. Chad, see you there. All right. Well,
6 feet apart. 6 feet apart.
yeah, whatever. By then I'm gonna have my
Don't forget to
Needle.
order your Joe Cools for May 2-4, right?
Yeah,
Hit him up. Get the big deep dish pizza.
yeah, 100%. And definitely order beer from Toboggan too. Just tell them you want fries, and they'll bring it right to your house. Right to your
Mhm.
house.
They do. I did that.
Yeah, yeah, it's wonderful. I was talking to Amy, and I told her that they should just work in the price of a couple of tortilla chips into the price of the beer. Yeah, I went there and I picked up, and they gave us these drinks. Where are they?
Cornstarch queen, eh?
No, this isn't cornstarch. This is this is a
That's beer.
that's a growler, son. But yeah, anyway, we're starting to get off topic. We're a little stupid now. So Liam is already smiling. So I'm gonna say cheers, boys, unless you have anything else, and we will pick up later in the week.
That's it.
Cheers.
Go Red Sox.
Don't forget to subscribe to YouTube.